Hi, welcome to this week's episode of Made for More. Thank you for following and watching every other episode. If you've not subscribed, please do that with the subscribe button. In today's episode, I'm going to be having a guest with me, and we're going to be discussing a very interesting topic and one that I think would call your attention, and it is adulting a scam. Now, I know you've heard the song Adulting a Scam, and today we're going to be looking at how you can live a full life even as an adult with the numerous responsibilities that you have and still fulfill your purpose and enjoy life while making a ton of money as well. So today I'm going to be having with me Bolanle Adeosun. Bolanle is a very good friend of mine, and she has underneath her belt many years of working in the fashion industry. She's a very down-to-earth person, and I'm sure that this conversation is going to be very enlightening, and you definitely have something to take away from today's episode. So stay tuned. Hi, Bolanle.
Hi.
Welcome on board. I'm super excited.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much for honoring this invite.
Thank you.
So today we're going to be talking about something that I consider to be a question on the heart of a lot of young adults, right? The desire to make a lot of money, at least be comfortable, and still do what you really want to do and not what society expects you to do. I mean, how do you deal with the pressure of being a responsible adult, earning, taking care of your family, and still living your own life, right? We know that there's a lot of pressure in society. For instance, there's a way things are supposed to be. You're supposed to go to school, get a good degree, maybe go for your master's, then find a handsome bobo or babe.
Keyword being supposed, right?
Suppose.
Yeah.
Have a good job with a good pay. Go up the career ladder, and recently we added jackpot to the list.
Yeah.
And things don't always go that way.
Yeah.
So with the expectation from society, from family sometimes, and sometimes internal pressure, how do you handle all of that? How do you deal with all of that?
Well, that's a very wide question, but I would just like to say that, well, disclaimer, I don't have life all figured out because I'm still lifing, right?
None of us.
And but to start with, I actually hate, and I need to specifically state that I hate, and I choose that word very specifically, that I hate that particular song. I think it's very deceptive, and I think it's very shallow. No apologies. I think it's very shallow. Adulting is not a scam. We all have to adult. I mean,
you have no choice.
You don't have a choice.
Except, of course, if you want to die before.
I mean, you don't want to grow, and we have to have responsibilities, and how we do that, it takes different shapes, takes different forms, and like you said, all these societal expectations, how they expect you to go to school, go this. Now, I've had a very interesting personal journey that hasn't necessarily gone the way you would typically expect, with life hiccups, and everybody has those. So you're not unique. I mean, your process is different from the next person, but I mean, everybody has their own hiccups while they go through life. So I think one of the most important things that one needs to have as an adult, or as someone that is growing to be an adult, is a very good, strong sense of self.
Definitely.
Self-identity and authenticity. I think those two things, which I am very big on, are very important parts of being an adult. And without having those parts sound, excuse my use of language, but oh my yole, like it will show. That's Yoruba for it will show. Like it would definitely tell that you have something to work on, because even with those two things in place, there's still a lot to grapple with. So I just think those two things are like really important parts of the foundation too.
I think I agree with you, and I think that's very very strong thought right there, that we do not pay so much attention to people. Do not intentionally invest in self improvement, in not even self improvement now, like even discovering who you really are, what you stand for, what you would take and what you would not take. people don't intentionally invest in that journey, and people just do life. You know, and that is why it's easy for a lot of people to get confused when it comes to crossroad decisions in life. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. So I want to ask you, let's get a little bit personal now. How do you cope with life? Like, how do you cope when things are not going exactly how you planned? Yes, you have a very healthy sense of self, and I respect that a lot. I usually tell people, like, in our circle, that there are some things you don't just take to Bolanle. She will not take it.
I'm a good person. I just need to
no,
say
she
that.
is a good person. She is a good person. But then when you have things planned out, have you ever experienced where you have things planned out and you think you have things figured out, but they don't go the way you've planned, and then sometimes it persists. So it's not just I applied for a job and I didn't get it. How about when you apply for jobs and you're not getting it? And then you have responsibilities. How do you handle such situations?
Well, when I say strong sense of self, to people who probably are on the more religious side, I'm not talking about the selfish part of life. I'm talking about knowing who you are, and that is different from being authentic to knowing who you are. So those are two different things. So I think everybody has different routes to these things. So when you have, say for example, the example you just gave, you have a hiccup in life and it's persisting. I think it's an opportunity, as painful as it may be. I mean, it's usually very painful. It's an opportunity for you to identify. There's always something for you to. Now, I've had an interesting series of processes in my life, and some of which I'm still going through, some of which I will still get to meet. And it's important to find out what that process, I call them processes, what that process is supposed to teach you.
Exactly.
So is it an avenue for you to build character? Is it an avenue for you to recognize something, a flaw that you need to strengthen? Because sometimes you get these processes for you to be able to understand, okay, I need to work on this part of myself, I need to get rid of this character, I need to learn how to hone this particular character. So that's really what it has been for me. It's been an opportunity for me to learn. And those opportunities, those processes aren't, I mean, I can't remember any of them that have been pleasant. They are usually very bad, and I say bad because that's just the easiest word, because it's taking out a lot of your comfort. The last episode was talking about not jumping out of your comfort, but at least expanding your comfort zone. So it's an opportunity to build capacity. It's never easy, but getting out of it prematurely is very dangerous.
So what I hear you say is understanding the fact that every event of life, whether it's the loss of a loved one or not getting your dream job, is supposed to make you a better person.
Yes, it contributes to that.
And the way you see it will also affect how you go through it.
Exactly.
And I think also understanding that, well, except your village people are pursuing you, that's a joke. Also understanding that no bad situation is designed to last forever. And you don't want to come out on the other side being broken and damaged, bitter,
taking too much out of it than you really should.
Exactly. So I totally agree with that. Thank you very much. Now there's this other thing about things to achieve before I turn 30. And it's very popular amongst young people, young adults. And first of all, the first question is there anything wrong with having a list of things you want? Maybe you want to do your master's degree, some people even want to do their PhD before they turn 30. They want to have all their 3 kids before they turn 30.
Fabulous.
The first question is there something wrong with that mindset? And then the second question, because I want you to answer both together, is what happens when you don't hit all your before 30 goals?
Okay, so the first question is it wrong? Well, in my short 30 years of living, I've learned that some things are not absolutes. Like, you can't say something is wrong, something is right, because things just work differently for people. I mean, there are general things that, okay, killing people is bad, drinking water is good, those things. But, nobody should, let me not say can, nobody should walk up to me and say, you've not married, you're 30, that's bad. I mean, well, that's your opinion, it's not bad. I mean, but that's not how my processes have led me so far, The second question, which is, what do you do when it takes, well, follow up from the previous thing we talked about. It's important to learn what you need to learn at the time. Of course, it's great. I mean, if that is what you want, to be married before 30, because some people have those goals much earlier for themselves. And society says a completely different thing, but if the goal that you have for yourself is to be married before 30 and maybe to have all your kids, that's great. It's not bad to have all those things written out. It's really not bad. It gives you a sense of direction, so you know how. Because but I think that marriage is one thing that is not necessarily something that you can plan out. Especially, well, I think that also depends on what your views about marriage are. And that's a very interesting and wide topic that we cannot even get into right now. But I mean, depending on how you want your life to go, writing out those things can help you to be able to plan. Okay, so if you want to have your master's, if you want to have your PhD, you know that okay, I have to go to school and be done at this age. So that gives you a perspective of, okay, I need to be serious. I don't have years to waste. So you can plan all of that out more strategically. But in the event, and usually these things happen, that things don't go, maybe because the funds that should have been able to pay for the school but were not available. Is that not the end of life? That's not the end of life. You just have to work with what you have. It might be that at that point you might need to take a break, get a job, and be able to save up to continue your life goals. Of course, you might not now be ending or getting all those things done before you're 30, but you will eventually. But the setback shouldn't break you so much that you then lose I'm supposed to be 30 when I'm done this, so since I'm not 30 and this is not done, then let everything go to hell. No, really. So you have to just work with the things that you get really in life. I mean, the Bible, I almost said the Bible. They say that when life gives you lemons,
you make lemonade.
So,
but that's if you like lemonade.
Well, if you don't like lemonade, make lemon bread or something. Anything like that. Lemon milk.
That's a profound viewpoint, because a lot of people, we put ourselves under undue pressure, and I get to talk to people and I hear the fear in their voices, like I'm getting old and this has not happened. What am I doing with my life? What is do I actually have village people? Maybe I should sort them out now, but I've come to understand that sometimes we are also trying to achieve things that should take us 5 years or 10 years in 2 years.
Oh yeah, societal pressure.
Yeah,
social
and then
pressure.
You're not even able to enjoy your processes and become the kind of person, the quality of person you're trying to tick boxes. Not really trying to become a kind of person, and there are two different things. So yes, have your goals, the things that you hope to achieve, but don't put yourself under pressure, under undue pressure. We've seen people that got their PhD at 50. They still did it.
And they live good lives.
So the goal here would be to live a full life, a complete life, where even if you're going through difficult times, you're learning from those processes, and they're painful. They can be painful. Nobody's saying,
growth is always painful.
Nobody's saying when the going is hard, just smile.
You have to sort of things are free.
But at the same time, understanding that it's a process is making me better, and at the end of the day, I'm going to live a full life. Make that commitment to yourself because you actually deserve it. So one last question, and we'll be gone. Is it possible to have the best of both worlds? And I'll explain what I mean. We've talked about responsibilities of adulting, a word that was coined in our generation. You have to pay your bills, you have to, make your family proud and all of that. But then there is something that you're made for.
Yeah.
This is not even you trying to find yourself now. This is what I really want to do. This is the direction I really want my life to go. the kind of impact I want to make. But then that thing is not mature enough to fend for your needs.
Yeah.
Right? How do you handle it? Do you let go of your dreams and your purpose so that you can meet your needs and be a responsible adult?
Yeah.
Or do you focus on fulfilling your purpose and just damn every other thing?
Well, the interesting thing about life is some people have backgrounds that are able to sponsor their desires more comfortably than others.
True.
So you have someone who, say, comes from a very wealthy family, has, their college fund all prepared out, and they have a fabulous inheritance waiting for them when they turn 21. They have stocks already bought their name since they were 1 year old, and that's good. So you have some people like that. So if someone who, maybe their parents said, oh, I want you to go to school to be an engineer, and then they said, oh, but I like the arts, I want to be an artist. But the thing with arts, for example, is that it takes a while before you come into it. So for that kind of person, it wouldn't be too difficult to focus on that passion, that desire, because you already have some funds that are buffering, while you come into your own as an artist. On the other spectrum of things, you have someone who isn't necessarily from a very financially buoyant background. And in that case, what I would say right now is really just a suggestion. It's not an absolute. It could come in different ways. Some people get grants to support their desires, and sometimes, a lot of times, some people have to get jobs that they're not necessarily interested in to be able to fund the lifestyle that they really want to live.
Yeah.
So that might include you stepping out to get, if you want to be an artist, that might be you getting a job as, I don't know, maybe a tech person, that jobs that don't necessarily require like very specific amount of skill. So you might need to do that for some time, and the truth is sometimes people find purpose even in doing something they didn't even think that they were going to have any interest in. Yeah. So I don't think it's a great way to go about life, having this very straight jacket. It must go this way. If it doesn't go this way, then my life is no.
So I would say nurture your desire.
Yeah, it's great to actually enjoy the process. It can be. When I say it can be, it's usually very, very difficult. But it's important to enjoy living even everyday while you're in those processes. Yes.
And when I say nurture your desire, what I mean is you could be working in the bank and taking free online courses on something that you're interested in. Yeah. So you don't have to let go of one. They are not mutually exclusive. If you're born into wealth and you have fantastic, you're blessed. But then that is not always the case for the larger percentage of people. So yes, you've discovered, okay, this is the direction I want to go, except of course if you have a strict instruction. That's another thing. But generally speaking, life is not going to pause for you and then you want to be an artist. So you just want to focus on that. Don't take this 2 million. Or don't pay your light bill. It's not going to happen that way. So yes, you might be in a situation where you don't really like your job.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Let's not get.
But it's also good to have a plan. Okay.
Have a plan.
Sometimes the plan works. Sometimes it doesn't work. But have a plan.
Yeah. So I want to do this for 2 years. I want to save. Then while I'm at this, I want to enroll for this course or that course, like you mentioned, applying for grants, picking up skills along the way so that it would help you in that direction. So that is like one of the easiest ways to go about it. It's been so good having this conversation with you.
It's been great,
and just to summarize everything that we've said, one of the most important things I believe you said here today is have a healthy sense of self.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't be that person that is easily tossed. This is what people are saying now, this is what is trendy now. You have to decide who you want to be and stick with being that person regardless of what people, except you want to be a Yahoo boy or something. So stick with who you are and who you want to be. Enjoy the processes of life. That's another thing that we also mentioned. Enjoy your processes, the good ones, the not so good ones, so that when you come out at the other side, you're better for it, and you're not having to go through a season of therapy to get you out of what that process cost. And also, it's okay if you are able to achieve all your goals before a particular age, but if you're not, it doesn't mean you can't, and it shouldn't throw you into depression as well. And finally, you can have the best of both worlds. You can live your dream, what you believe is your purpose, and you can still be comfortable. It's not they are not mutually exclusive. Thank you so very much, Bolanle. It's been amazing having you here. Thank you so much for joining. I hope to see you in the next episode. And don't forget that you are made for more.